Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to what's probably going to be the last video in the replacement of the Astra 1.6 engine. At the present time done somewhere in the region of 400 to 500 miles and we've got a couple of little teething problems, so let's go and have a look and see if we can get them sorted out. Right, so here we are back at a familiar site, the Astra 1.6 engine. Now, last night on the way home from work, the oil light flicked on, not the oil pressure light, the oil level light. And I've had a little look under here today. I've cleaned it up a tiny bit, but I don't know if you can see that down there. We appear to have got a little bit of an oil leak just there. I've also had a look on the road where I normally park it, and there are a few spots of oil there. Also looks a little bit damp there, just along here, because don't forget this cover was new and clean. It may be just spraying off the fans or something to get right up there. There's nothing sprayed up on the bonnet, so it's not too severe. I've done about 450 miles, something like that. As you can see, it's quite wet. Just there, there's quite a bit of oil spraying out of somewhere. Drive belt looks dry. I must admit I have taken the cam cover off this morning. I should have shown you that. So it's a little bit damp down here. There's, like I said, there's quite a lot of oil along there and down here. So I have just tried to nip these bolts up, but they're dead tight. I don't want to over tighten them. So I don't know if it's the cam cover gasket leaking or whether it's the crankshaft oil seals, but it's something that we're going to need to address in the near future, but I'm not going to worry about it too much at the moment. Now, the other little annoying fault that I've got, let's just see if we can demonstrate it. It probably won't come on. Get in the car. So we've got the display there. That's not too bad actually. 37.6 miles to the gallon. Before I put the new engine in, with the old engine it was doing about 34, so that's not too bad at all. So what I'm going to do is start the car up, turn the radio down. Now, sod's law, it hasn't done it. Basically the coolant, there it goes, coolant level. So the coolant level warning light keeps coming on. Now, if you remember when we put the engine in, I did put a new coolant sensor in the bottom of the coolant reservoir. Shut the engine off now. That obviously hasn't fixed the problem. So what we're going to do now is replace the coolant bottle, and I'll explain why in a second. So here we have a nice brand new shiny coolant reservoir, expansion tank, whatever you want to call it. Now, I don't know if you can hear this. That rattle is a little float. Now, inside here, this is where the sensor sits, and inside here, that's just a blank hole. But inside there, inside the tank, is a little float that rides up and down. You can't really see it through the side of the tank, but it's in here, and as the level rises, it rises up. I guess it's got a little piece of metal or something in the float, and it's the sensor in the bottom that picks up the level. Now, it could be that sticking, or it could be, which is really difficult to see, and I'll have to take the battery out to change it, but just down there is the connection to that sensor. Now, the old one, when I took the old sensor out, that connector had got a little bit of corrosion in it, which I cleaned up as best I can. Couldn't seem to find one easily online. It'd probably be a trip to my local breaker's yard and just say, have you got an Astra H? Can you cut me that connector off with a bit of wiring on it? And I'll just splice it in and replace it. But I thought the easiest thing to do would be just to replace that tank, because the new one was about 13 quid delivered. So what we need to do is drain a little bit of coolant out, get the level down, hopefully to below this hose. Take the battery off and swap that out, see how it goes. So what I've done is remove the battery and remove the water bottle. As you can see, it's not there. Hole one is down here, looking a bit rusty and crusty. Like I'll say, it's probably worth replacing anyway, because these spouts, especially this one here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, has got a little bit brittle, and the tip of it's actually broken off, I think, started to crumble away. So I've pulled the sensor out of there, the new one that we put in when we put the engine back in, and fitted this to the brand new bottle, so that's in there, all ready to go back in. Now I don't know if we can catch this on camera because you can't really see, but this pin here is very, very corroded. You can sort of see the shininess of the one on the left hand side, and the one on the right hand side up next to my finger is quite green and crappy in there. Not sure if that old bottle's leaking a little bit in the sensor hole, or what it was, or whether it was the old sensor, I don't know, but I've tried to clean that out with a little scalpel blade as best I can. If this doesn't cure the problem now, when we get it all back together, then what I'm going to do is take a photograph of this and get in touch with some breakers yards, either online or pop round to my local one, and see if they can sell me, cut that piece of cable off there, off the wiring loom of the car, give them enough to join in, then I can cut these cables back here and make a nice joint in there and put a new connector on. So that's the plan. Going to get it all back in now and see if we've still got the coolant level warning light on. So quite a short video today, everybody. Lost a little bit of video footage at the end there, unfortunately, but I'm pleased to say replacing the header tank did fix the coolant level warning light. So that's one little job sorted. We have still got a slight oil leak. I'm hoping it's going to be the cam cover gasket, because as you've seen in previous videos, that is a little bit of a pig to get on up the timing pulley end of the engine. So I'm hoping it's going to be that and not the crankshaft oil seals, because camshaft oil seals, because if it is that, it means taking the timing belt off, and that was an absolute pig of a job to get on. So like I say, it's probably the last video for now for the about the replacement of the Astra engine. We've got a lot more bits and pieces to do to the car. Obviously the COVID-19 coronavirus thing has put a bit of a stop on things at the minute, but we do need to crack on with the bodywork, so that'll be coming soon. And there are a couple of jobs we need to do on the Insignia, ready to get it for its MOT. So yeah, for now, that's it. Take care, and look out for the new videos in the future.